It is a foreign coin mail day. I found an eBay auction for 1 pound of foreign coins. It's from a dealer I'd never bought from before. And he had 1 pound of coins listed for $10 with free shipping. And I thought, you usually don't see anything like that. 1 pound so cheap with free shipping. Now, I in case I figured he was probably going to add shipping costs later, so I put it on my watch list and then noticed 3 or 4 days later that it was still listed as free shipping, so I went ahead and bought one. And then I noticed today that he had added a shipping cost to it. Mine cost $5.72 to get this to me. So after fees, this guy has not made a lot of money on these coins. And to be honest with you, I'm not expecting a whole lot. The particular dealer had picked out the other listings that he had were all $2, $3, $4 coins and up. So I'm thinking that he probably took all the really good stuff out of here. And so we're going to have nothing but Canadian pennies, but we'll see what actually shows up. And on a first glance here, yeah, I do see a lot of common things, but I haven't bought anything in a while, any bulk lots in a while. At first glance, I don't see anything that is, well, that 50 Pfennig from Germany is the best thing I see so far. It's not rare or anything, but at least it's not all pennies and things like that. So let me pause the video, cut this tape off of here, and get into this bag. I have finally dissected this bag open, and I will say that I violated my own rule on this. My personal rule is never buy a grab bag of coins off of eBay if it is a seller who has multiple purchases within one listing. So they have 10 of these available. And because I want to see exactly what I'm getting, because I need to know if it's worth my time or not. I've bought so many of these that I already have most of these coins, and frankly, I'm not expecting to get anything new to add to my collection here. But for $10, I thought it had, it's been so long since I've bought any eBay mystery lots. I've bought so many in at shows that I don't think I've bought any online in at least half a year. So let's start pulling in here, and the first thing that catches my attention on top here is this from Kenya. We have a 1 shilling from 1980 with Daniel Torrich shown on it. I always like these from Mexico, this 20 peso with the Mayan culture on it. These are about the size of an American $50. Whoa, that's that I don't like. So this was pulled out of someone's collection. Here we have a pretty common British 10 pence. Got a Queen Elizabeth penny. From Mexico, we have the 7-sided 10 pesos. 1976. Very common 2 pence. At least it's a newer portrait of the Queen that you don't see as often. I probably should just stop saying the word common because we're going to see that very often, or I'd be using it for most every coin, I think. A 5 pesetas from Spain. Hungarian 1 forint, an aluminum coin. 1966. There are a couple of variations with those, so I will need to check that out. Another 1 penny. 2 shillings, 1948. George VI. This was after they stopped using silver. I would highly doubt finding a silver coin in a lot like this, but this one is going to be a winner. 2.5 centésimos, or 2,5 centésimos of Balboa from Panama, 1907. And it would not surprise me if that is the best coin I pull out of here. I doubt such a low denomination of a coin is going to be silver, but I am going to set that one aside. It's still something you don't see very often. Nice and shiny French 20 centimes, a very common coin. See a few other, now this one's not French. We have 20 centésimos from 1972, and so far I do not recognize the country. This one is going to be Chile. So, J.M. Balmaceda. So I'm not sure if I have that one. Here's another French coin. This one's a very small 5 centimes. We've got from the Euros, here's a 2007 Irish 5 cent. Another 10 new pence with the original portrait of, or an earlier portrait of the Queen. Another Hungarian coin. There, if you don't recognize it, their coins say Magyar on it. 2 forint from 1984. We had the 1 forint earlier. From 1976, we have the 50 new pence. And while this is a common coin, I do like to see these included because just in foreign exchange value, these are going to be worth over 50 US cents because the British pound is worth more than the American dollar. So I always like finding these. That means that they're not picking out coins because they have a high foreign exchange value. So I'll give them credit for that. Here is an aluminum 1 franc coin from 1950. It does have a B mint mark, so if you find some French coins from the 40s, 50s, 60s through there, if it's got a B mint mark, or sometimes the C mint mark is pretty rare, those are nice to find, that they are rarer and carry a little bit more of a value on them. I don't remember which city that is. Paris would be A. And so almost all the coins, or actually they don't even have an A, they just don't have a mint mark. So all the ones from Paris are pretty common. Here's a common Italian 1955 10 pesos that is has something gross on it. This one's in pretty nice shape, a 20 lira from 1973. This coin is not as common, made out of brass, but it is still fairly easy to see. I said earlier I thought we'd have some Canadian cents. There's one from 1972, pretty beat up. Here's another one from 1958. At least it's fairly older. And some of them do have some varieties to them that I do need to get it into my catalog and take a look. Here's a newer one, 1999. Again, at least it's good to have one with a different portrait of the Queen on it. Just doing a quick search, see how many more of these we have. Let's see, we've got a 42, so we're getting back to George VI. Otherwise, the same design. Here's a, this one's in nice condition, 1991. And doing a quick look, don't see any others. So let's pull up this old coin right here. 5 well-worn centésimos, I suppose, 1880 something. Mint mark of N. Italy, so Victor Emmanuel II of Italy. This is one of those coins that, like a lot of 1800s coins, just find always the copper so well worn when you find something like that. Here is a similar coin of Napoleon III, 1854. So the date is really easy to read on this one. And on these coins, it is important to find the mint mark on it, which I have not found yet, because the mint mark comes with different privy marks. There's going to be 2 privy marks, one on either side of the date, and that causes each mint mark to have its own catalog number. So that's always something to look out for. Back to a British coin, we've got George V on a penny. 1929, that's in decent shape for one that old. Mexico 20 centavos for 1944. This was a design that was used for many decades, so that's a common coin. Another French coin, 1916, 10 centimes. Another coin that is almost always seen well worn. This one's in better shape than most, I would think. This one I would probably even check my collection to see if it's an upgrade. That one has a lot more detail. Just finding it in good shape is decent for something like that. Got, as we go through the older coins, we've got an 1892. This one's from Portugal. Carlos I, King of Portugal. Damaged coin, of course. Looks like 20. Race. Well, we're going with the well-worn older coins. Let's see. This one is another French coin. The I'm going to have to look up what that mint mark is. It's actually two letters squished together, and it's either going to be something like an HB, NB, something like that. So again, we've got Emmanuel III, 1855. Let's take a look at this one here. Greek. 1 drachma from 1976. Pretty well worn coin there. Österreich, 10 Groschen, 1967. Another aluminum coin. What is this one? 1970. I think this is some British controlled country of Bermuda. Another 10 new pence. Here's one from Cuba. It's going to be a 5 centavos coin. 1920. A lot of Cuban coins will put the weight on it in grams to show you how much silver you're getting, but this one is not a silver coin. A couple of these countries do it anyway, even though it's not a silver coin. So we've got 5.0 grams on it. So kind of interesting how they did that. Here's a nice condition 20 pence. My phone was ringing in the background, so we've got 1982 20 pence. Don't see these as much as the 10 cents, so always good to get something like that. This one looks like a British halfpenny. Pretty good detailing on that 1958 coin. We've got the non-silver 3 pence, 1941, when it was brass. It's another George VI coin. This one's just a dirty coin, but from Bermuda, 5 cents, 1990. This one is a surprisingly thick coin when I picked it up, based on how tiny it is. So it's about the size of a U.S. penny, but it is a very thick coin for something that small. But it's from Turkey, and going back to their hyperinflation days, that is the 5,000 lira from 1995. This Hungarian coin is nice and shiny, 1 forint. It's a more modern coin compared to most of what we see. That looks like a date of 1993 on it. 1 spot of tarnish on it, though. This one's okay. That's interesting what someone decided to write on that coin. 1964. All right. Well, that one is not going out for trade. I like finding these. These are fairly rare. 10 kroner coins from Denmark. We've got Queen Margaret II of Denmark, 1989. A lot of the smaller denominations are easy to find, but the 10 is fairly rare. They've got the 3 lions and hearts all over it. So that one is that one's nice. Here's a British 1 pound coin. It's been discolored. Maybe someone even tried to clean it at one point. But I think I had one of these. Yeah, I had one of these in my last video. This is they do change out the design every so often of the British pound. So this side's always going to look the same. It's from 1985. This specific design with that portrait was made in 85 and 90. That is a Welsh leek. Leek is a vegetable, I believe, and this is what they call their diadem series. A diadem is a word for a crown, as there is a crown around that leek. So just like I said with the 50 pence, to see a 1 pound coin means they're not searching it for high value exchange coins. Here's one from Switzerland. It's the 20 Rappen, so that one has an exchange value that's worth a quarter US in 1985. That is a design that they've kept for over 100 years. Another common French coin. See, from Spain, this looks like a 1 peseta. It says 1963 right there, but always, if you really want to add this to your catalog, you have to find the star that has the number on it that tells you the actual date. And it's so tiny that it's usually so well worn you can't read it. And this one is, oh, maybe we can read it. Well, I can't read it, but maybe you can on the screen. Here is one from Suomen Tasavalta. That is Finland, 1976. Going to be 1 mark. And another one with a little bit of corrosion. 25 cent from the Netherlands. I saw 1 cent from the Netherlands in there somewhere that we haven't got to yet. I see a couple more Canadian pennies. This one's 47, so another George VI. And this one is 42, so another George VI. Older French coin, 10 francs from 1952. Another one from Finland. This one is a 1 penny aluminum coin, 1978. Here is a commemorative Canadian coin from Canada's centennial. They changed the reverses of all their coins to animals. So this one has I believe that's a Canadian goose in flight. So they're easier to find than you would think. A lot of people have been buying for so many years. The mint sets that they made have been selling for spot price of the silver, and the penny and the nickel have not been silver, and so they just get tossed and make them fairly easy to find. But that one is in better shape than a lot of Canadian pennies. Oh, here's another one that was hiding. That one's 74. That one's pretty worn. Here we've got another one from Austria. It's going to be a 50 groschen, 1967. Like it has a little flower there going into the O. Here's a pretty good luster on this Hong Kong coin from 1978. I'll have to check if this one was supposed to have security reading on it. They made some that were supposed to and didn't. Here is a British 1 shilling, 1953. Another British 2 pence, when they still said new pence on them. Another one from Switzerland. The 20 looks just like the 10, except this one's half the size. 1996. That's the newer one and in really nice shape. Here's a French coin that you don't see very often, and this one's probably going to be another upgrade in my collection. 1903, 25 centimes. So at first glance, I'm going to call that very fine. So that's probably an upgrade in my collection. See, here's a just a standard British penny from 1987. Easy to find Japanese 10 yen. Next we have a Japanese coin that is not so common. The yen coin, a lot of the yen is a symbol that a lot of people recognize. And now 1 yen is roughly about the value of 1 U.S. penny. But before that, they used to have 100 sen make up a yen. That is the symbol for a sen there at the top. And that takes a lot of strokes to make the character sen. That's the number for 10. So this is going to be a 10 sen coin, aluminum. And for their date, they don't use the calendar year, but instead they use the year of the emperor. And so I don't remember all the numbers, but there's another plus, so it's at least 10th year of that reign. From Singapore, we have a 10-cent coin from 1978 with a seahorse. Germany, F Mintmark 10 Pfennig. Another design that they use from pretty much the end of World War II all the way till they joined the euro. Here's a newer portrait version of the Queen, 1995. Another seahorse. Another German 5 Pfennig D. Canadian nickel, 1999. Belgium coin from 1963, 1 franc. And another. From Australia, we have the halfpenny, 1943, with a kangaroo. George VI on it. Pretty decent condition. From the 1 franc we saw of Belgium a moment ago, this is a 5 franc from the same design. So it's just a larger coin. From Argentina, got a nice sailboat here. For 5 pesos, 1963. Here is a diamond-shaped coin for 5 cents from the year 1957. If you don't see the date, it's on the corner, so there's the 19 and 57 on the other side. This is probably from Netherlands Antilles. And there we go, Netherlands Antilles written around the circle there. Just a shape that you don't see represented as often. This one's either Australia or New Zealand, the 1 cent coin. And it is Australia from 1971. There's a couple of varieties to sometimes look out for having to do with the claw length on that animal. A standard 1 cent coin from the Netherlands, 1954. This Canadian penny is 1969. And we do another search for these Canadian pennies. Don't see any others, although we do have another of these goose centennial pennies. What is this one? From Israel, it's a 10. Can't remember their denomination offhand, but I don't think the color looks right on this one. This one's either been cleaned or changed. Maybe it's been dipped in another metal. These are usually more of a like a copper nickel type color to them instead of that one. Gives it an almost brass look, I think. Here is the 50 Pfennig from Germany coin that we saw earlier. It shows I believe that is a lady planting an oak tree, and I believe this represents how, following World War II, that the Germany is going to go through new beginnings with symbolized by planting the tree here. And to go with that, the euro coins from Germany, at least the low value ones, also have an oak leaf on it that kind of ties in with what you see here for the 50 Pfennig. Here is an older Mexican coin. I like this design, 1906, 5 centavos. Got a Mexico City mint mark there below the date of 1906. And you can almost see some of the lines going through the number 5. Well worn, but still a little bit of detail left on that one. Here is a half a franc, 50 centimes, from 1922. Here's another planting coin. I believe this one is from Czechoslovakia, and that would make this a 1 Hilero coin. Yes, from 1990. While they were still socialist, Czechoslovakia. There's a Barbados cent from 1973, showing the trident. Another Swiss coin, 1970, another 20 wrapping. Here's a Panamanian coin, a decimo of Balboa. The Balboa is their currency. They have it pegged to the US dollar, so they make their coins the same shape and size as the US dollar. So this is like a US dime, which is 1/10 of a dollar. At one time, these were made out of silver. If it was, it would have the silver weight somewhere on this side, I believe. Kind of in the empty space over there by my fingernail. Another 5 Pfennig from Germany. Again, that one had the oak leaf on it. But before you had the oak leaves, this one is another German coin, a mint mark. This, I believe, goes back to the Weimar Republic days, 1925. This one's going to be a 5 Reichspfennig. One time they also had the Rentenpfennig. Our next to last coin is going to be this well-worn 1 cent coin from the Netherlands from 1884. This is, again, a coin that, of course, usually shows up very well worn. And the last coin, I've been eyeing this one for a while. I believe it's another Austrian coin, but this one is definitely quite old. And look at that. It's got a year of 1800 on it. So 222 years old. See, I can do that math in my head. And you've got the two-headed eagle on this coin. How well can we read that? Almost looks like Frank 2. GRISAGEHV BO. You know what? I'm going to pause the video since this is the last coin. I'm going to look this one up. So I was able to confirm this is from the Austria-Hungarian Empire with the date of 1800. I went to my 1800s catalog and then remembered that that catalog is for 1801 through 1900, and I don't have the 1700s catalog, which would have the year 1800, so I just had to look it up on Numista. And so this is a 1 cruiser coin, which had a value of 1/60th of a gulden. It is made out of copper, and this has a catalog number of KM2111, so 2111, I should say. That is a 23.5 millimeters, 1.3 grams. And since I'm looking it up, the translation of everything that it was written around the portrait translates to, or is an abbreviation in Latin that translates to Francis II, by God, Grace, Roman Emperor, always August, King of Germany, Hungary, and Bohemia, Archduke of Austria. And in good condition, with a B mint mark, this coin has a book value of about $1. I also went back to look up this Panamanian 2.5 centavo coin. I said just a moment ago that their coins are now pegged to the US dollar. They were not in 1907 when this coin was made, but at the time their 5 centavo coin was made out of silver, so that's why their 2.5 centavo coin is roughly the size of today's US nickel. And so this is a 1-year coin from 1907. They changed a little bit of lettering for the next year. They made this in 1914. But in fine condition, this coin has a value of $1. And if you want to dream, in uncirculated condition, has a book value of $50. This is obviously not uncirculated. So was this lot worth $10? I would say yes. I was expecting a lot of, we did get a lot of Canadian pennies, British pennies, common German and French coins, and that is pretty typical for any bulk lot. But I would say of the, just to get 2 coins that I didn't have, which is harder and harder for me to do now, especially in bulk lots, 2 coins added to my collection that each were worth $1. I would have paid $1 for either of them. And then the rest of these go in my trade pile. I don't like having Canadian pennies and French and German and British common coins, but everything else, pretty much everything else that that I showed through here is a pretty decent coin to add to my trade pile. So overall, I'm very happy with it. At $10, I don't know if I would have paid $16, since that is today's going rate if I were to buy another one. I probably would buy another one at 10, but at 16, I don't know. I have another lot that's coming in the mail in the next few days, so that's going to be very different than this one, so we'll see how that goes. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to link here at the end to my foreign coin playlist. Thanks for watching. Bye.